Hey everybody, my name's Chad Leonberg, and today I want to talk to you about how to hit your real estate goals, a simple and effective way. I don't know about you, but a lot of the business plans that I came across were multiple pages long. It's like they worked harder on the plan itself to be like as long and as complex as possible so that you can't even follow it, rather than seeing how followable and implementable it is. So I have a very simple strategy that I use. I call it the major minor strategy, and we'll kind of break that down here today. My name's Chad Leonberg, and I'm a real estate agent, team owner, coach, and digital marketer. And I've been on a quest to help real estate agents live a balanced life where their hard work is outmatched by the rewards. I'm a systems and processes nerd, so follow me for more real estate tips and strategy. All right, so make no mistake, even though we have this plan laid out, you still got to do the work. You still got to generate the amount of leads you need, make the amount of contacts you need to make, whatever your strategy is, you've got to do the, proactive activities that move the needle for that strategy. But I think just having that simple strategy to follow, so you're not, I see a lot of agents, and myself included, when they get in the business, there's so many different things to focus on. There's mailers or cold calls or social media. Everybody wants to do YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, make a dancing TikTok video and get real estate sales. But what happens is I see a lot of people putting 1/8 worth of effort into each one of those items, as opposed to kind of going all in on one or two things. And when you really take a look and study successful agents and teams, they really just execute on one or two things right. And then if they grow and scale, they might, kind of automate and pull themselves out or systemize and make that thing run like a well-oiled machine, and then, add other pillars of business. So for that reason, having the multi-complex layered business plans doesn't really work well. So for me, when I got in the business, I thought of two things. I thought I want to get buyers and I want to get sellers. And where will I go to get those? So that's kind of where this foundation formed from. So I call it the major minor plan, because we all understand when you go to college, you pick your major and you pick your minor. So it's that simple, and it's really easy to follow no matter what stage of my career that I have gone through, whether it's, solo agent, my first year trying to sell 20 or so homes, I think, the second year when I sold 60, building a team, later on growing and scaling that, and now focusing on a lot of other avenues and running multiple businesses. I always, even right now on my whiteboard, have a major and a minor focus. 80% of my time is focused and spent on the major. That's the plan A to achieve my money goal. And my plan B is my minor. That is where 20% of my time is focused on to achieve the money goal. I do the math so that both can hit the metric. I shoot for the stars so you can land on the moon, basically. But pretty much, what tends to happen is, maybe the 20% one works better than you thought. And it does this, right? And maybe the 80% of your time works a little less, not as good as you thought. But they tend to, as long as both work at 50%, you would hit your goal, right? Because you're engineering both on the to-do list, on the metrics you're going to set, all that stuff to hit the goal. So like I said, I sit down and I take all of the potential strategies to generate business for whatever I'm looking to do. And on that major, I reverse engineer. I do the math backwards. Basically, we take the money goal and we look at the average commission, and we divide that by the conversion rate for whatever our theory is for that, and we come up with a daily, monthly, yearly metric that we make sure that we follow to hit that goal. So the plan is really this. I can give you a one sheet. It's real simple. You have a major, and you have a metric that you need to do every day, month, and year to hit that major. That's it. Minor, you do the same thing. Now, we like to have a living and breathing plan. I found that's really useful. You're going to check in. Things are going to change. Every plan you set, as you put it in action, things start to come up that you wouldn't have anticipated. Just things break, you change your mind. The only thing I think that I've found true throughout life is that things change. So for that plan to be flexible and obviously it's simple. So that's good. We don't have to go and redo a 10-page business plan, right? We just got a major and a minor and a metric to achieve it. What I did was I focused on 3 categories on a quarterly check-in. So each quarter I would focus, was there enough supply to meet my metrics? If I had 10 conversations a day, was there enough for sale by owners to hit that? Was there enough sphere of influence to hit that? Was there, if I'm doing internet leads and I need 3 leads a day, am I paying enough to get 3 leads a day through Facebook ads or Google ads or Zillow leads, or you name it, right? Is there enough to get that metric? So the supply metric, is there actually enough supply in the marketplace or from my marketing from my proactive efforts to meet the metrics that I set out, that I said would achieve my money goal for my major, right? So we check the supply metrics, then we check, are we enjoying it? I've had a few things that I've tried that I have not enjoyed, and what I found was, even though I've had success in them, I started to burn out. So, for example, you could be running for sale by owner calls for a year or two and just get burnt out, and you have a great strategy that works, but 2 years later you hate it. So you're gonna unconsciously just ruin that. You're gonna trash and burn it because it's not something you enjoy. So I really like to focus. I mean, one of my major core values is to live a balanced lifestyle that I enjoy, right? So I want to make sure that I'm enjoying it. So supply is there. There's enough metrics out in the marketplace for me to be proactive enough. And I am enjoying it, right? I'm not going to just crash and burn and hate it in a few years or a few months, depending on how much you hate it. And the third category is that's actually producing. Now, we're going to be a little bit more lenient on this in the first month, 2, 3, or if it's a quarterly check-in, your first quarter, so you're going to be a little bit more lenient on that. Some things take longer than others to see the results. Mailers, for example, if you're doing mailers, hitting a neighborhood, hitting a market with a good turnover rate, that's going to take probably 10 to 12 months to really start to see a result from. Whereas, internet leads, you can start to see some out the gate, and sphere of influence and networking, you can really get some things rolling right out, even sooner. So you've got to be a little bit more lenient and make sure you have the right expectations for that thing to produce, and actually have a great real versus future conversion rate to add some predictability to different lead sources. It's something we can break down in a future video. But ultimately, those are the three categories that you need to check in on each quarter. So again, we set the major, 80% of our focus, kind of the to-do items and the metrics that we need to hit to achieve it daily, monthly, yearly. We do the same thing, copy and paste with the minor. A plan A and a plan B, 80% of your focus, 20% of your focus, and then you swap that as you go. Hopefully it checks off the boxes of all three, right? That you have the supply to meet the goal, the supply metrics, the proactive metrics are there, that you enjoy it. You definitely want to make sure that you enjoy it too, because if you don't enjoy it, like I said, you're going to burn out. And then obviously the third thing being that it's actually producing. So if it's not checking off one of those boxes, we start to put it in the caution zone. And then once it gets, clear that that's not a good strategy for us, we pull it out and swap it. I think, a lot of people get into the real estate business and they try, first of all, 8 different things and put 1/8 worth of effort into those things. And then on top of that, they try things that they're not necessarily naturally good at, or isn't their niche, or doesn't check those boxes. There's not enough supply, they don't enjoy it, or it's not producing for them, right? So the key here is when you have just 2 things to focus on, you've engineered both of them to hit your money goal. Basically, if one fails, it's easy to swap out and put in another. You have like the spotlight on 2 things as opposed to just kind of barrage forward. So it's a very simple strategy. It's not rocket science, but for me and a lot of the agents we've coached and partnered with, we just focus on 2 things, a plan A and a plan B, to achieve their goals. Get those things running right. Obviously, there's a later step to growing and scaling where you automate and systemize some of those things and pull yourself out piece by piece. But ultimately, coming back to where I started and just shifting my focus to move the needle, I focus on a plan A and a plan B. I call it a major and minor. So like I was saying, there's plenty of frameworks out there, lots of good stuff. For me, that's just a simple one that worked for me. The best plan is the one that you'll use, just like the best CRM is the one that you'll use. It's always the one that you'll use that's the best one. So if you'll use it and implement it, I can't stress that enough. Obviously, you're looking to grow your business if you're on a video like this. So cheers to you, props to that, but go out and implement it. Go today, set a major and minor, and go put them into action. Keep laser focus on them. Audit, adjust. Doesn't have to be this complicated plan, but keep your focus honed in on those 1 or 2 things to really grow your business. So I'm a systems nerd. I geek out on this stuff. If you want a quick dive into some of the systems and strategies that we're using in today's market that works, if you go to 10to40.com, I actually have a free webinar there. It's 10to40.com. That's it. The link is below. You can go there. We'll go over the 4 core building blocks that I use to go from 10 to 40 deals in real estate. If you like this video, if I gave you any value at all, why don't you smash that like button, go ahead and subscribe so you get notified when I post out some future videos. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you at the top.